go.
Hello, I'm Maria Correa. I am the manager of Audiovisual Services and also of the Performing Arts Center. I am not an instructor, I have to say that right from the get-go.
But you are
But
the
I'm
best.
here to help as best as I can. I'm learning this along with you now that the person who was providing the training is no longer here, kind of temporarily filling in his shoes until we hire his replacement. So I'm learning this so that I can help you guys hopefully. So this is the home screen and I have a PowerPoint to make it easier just to go along everything. And then at the end, we'll go and actually look at the board and go through some of the key things that I discussed. So this is what the home screen looks like. Go ahead. What would be nice if I had a clicker? Oh, I can use that. Okay, so starting from down here, and most of you, I'm sure, already know this. You have the PowerPoint. If you press it once, the screen will turn on. If you press it again, it's going to turn off. You have your volume up and volume down controls for your videos. If you look at the symbol, because it doesn't tell you up or down up here, but if you look at the symbol, you'll see a bigger bubble, meaning that's making your volume go up. And then here you see a smaller bubble that's letting you know that the volume is going down. This button is to freeze your screen. It looks like a pause button, which is like pause on old VCRs and DVDs and all of that.
This is if you're watching a video?
This would be if you're watching a video, any kind of animation. It will just pause your screen for you. So it's going to pause the animation, the video. It'll also pause the audio part as well. And then as soon as you hit that button again, it will unpause and let the video continue going, and you'll be able to hear your audio once again. So that's the freeze button. And again, these are these buttons that are right here. Then you have your shade button. So if there's something on the screen that you do not want your students to see, you can press that button and it'll block out what's being seen. And then when you're ready to show them, then you can go ahead and hit that button again. It'll remove the shade and the students will be able to see what you have on your screen. The input button will allow you to input if there's different devices connected to the board. So here you have some connections and you have connections back here. It will allow you to go from one thing to another. Basically right now all we have is the computer connected, but that's how you would change from one thing to another. There's oftentimes we receive calls, the teacher cannot see the screen. All you have to do is hit that input button and it'll show you where your computer is at. You just tap on that button and it'll let you see what it is. And again, we'll go through that when we're done with the PowerPoint part of this. So those are the buttons that are all over here on this side. Then we have the buttons that are on this side. The nice thing about this is that if you have a laptop and wanted to connect your laptop directly to the board and also have the touch features, you would connect with the HDMI and also right here with the USB. You have to have both things connected in order to be able to have that touch and be able to write on the board. If you don't have the touch connected, then you don't have that capability, but you can still have your laptop connected.
Does it have to be a laptop that allows for touch on the laptop?
You're not touching on the laptop, you're still touching on the
I'm
screen,
aware of that.
but you're using your.
But like my computer doesn't have that functionality.
I don't think
It doesn't
that
have anything to
I
do
don't think
with.
it has anything to do with that. It's just a matter of sometimes instructors prefer to have their own laptop, or let's say an instructor invites someone special in their field to come and do a lecture for their students. That person might have their own laptop and refuses to use our computer because they have to use their laptop. And in those instances, it's when we would want to connect that through that. And then you also have the USB-C there as well. So that's these buttons here. Typically what's back here, we don't mess with, we leave that be. as it is, so if ever you have to connect the laptop, you would be doing it from here. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of gestures that the screen can recognize. If you point and move an object, it will move wherever you have it go to. This will allow you to scroll, so if you have a document that had multiple pages, you can keep using 2 fingers, you can keep going up and your document will keep scrolling down. This is if you want to zoom into something, so let's say you have a picture and you want to go into that one little part of your picture. If you put your 2 fingers and you go like this, it will enlarge the picture so that little section you can see. And then over here, the picture's too large and you want to reduce it, so then you're going to go from out and you're going to push in, and it will make your picture a little bit smaller, as small as you want it to. So you're using 2 fingers. In either case here, you want to enlarge it, you're using 2 fingers and you're spreading it to make it larger, or you're bringing your 2 fingers in to make that image smaller. So whatever image you have on your board, which of course you added that image, so you know that it's there. For erasing purposes, you can erase whatever you have on the screen that you wrote by using your palm. You just go like this. You don't even have to touch the screen. Just the fact that you're doing this motion, it knows that you're trying to erase what you wrote. Oops. Back there. You can also use your fist. So if you go like that and do this, you're going to be able to erase it. When you have an image, you can move that image around. So all you will do is put, again, your 2 fingers and you rotate it. But before you can do that, you have to tap on your image. You'll see a little green ball on top of your image. That's letting you know at that point, if you go like this, the image will spin to wherever you want it to be. And this is flick. It's just like your phone, right? When we do the flick, we're moving from one screen to another screen. That's what that allows you to do. So you're just using your one finger there and pushing. So those are the gestures you can do. Any questions before I move on? And go ahead.
So if I'm using the whiteboard that's generated by Smart Notebook, is this apply?
Yes, some of these things will apply in Notebook, yes, because you have images that you put on Notebook. So that would.
To follow up on what, so I turn on my computer, the internal computer in the classroom.
Yes.
And then it shows, whatever I have on there shows on it.
Yes.
Can I do all of these things then, just like that? Or do I have to be in some other?
You would be either in your notebook, or you
Yeah.
could be on a whiteboard
Okay.
to do these things. And then you can have a Word document, a PowerPoint document,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to write or annotate
Okay.
on those documents.
All
It'll allow you to do that as well. Did you have a question, or did it get answered?
Yeah, so you're holding gestures and it's called gestures. You're not actually touching the screen itself.
Well, when you do these gestures, you will. I don't know if you're just right there before touching it, but you might have to touch the screen. And we'll find out in a little bit, right?
Okay.
Again, I don't use the board. I'm just learning this so I can teach you all. Okay, so then there's a navigation bar, and there's different things. That's the symbol for the whiteboard. So you would click on that if that's what you want. There's screen mirroring. When you click on that, information will pop up on the screen, and students can see what you're doing on their device, which is really nice for students who have vision issues. They're too far back. They can have their device and see what you're doing on their device. So that's screen mirroring, Chrome browser, so internet. And then here's your file manager, where you can open up your files and save your files. You would click into that symbol that's right there. The next section is a go back button. That one's a little tricky. It only works on certain things. So if it allows you to go back, you can keep going back to the different screens that you've had until you're at your home. Once you're at home, it no longer will go any back from there. Here's your home screen, so that's the symbol for the home screen. On this computer, it's right here. On the version 5, it's going to be right here in between your pins. So whenever you want to go back home, you would just click on that button, right? If it's on the screen, you can click on the screen, it's going to take you back to that same place.
And the home screen is the screen is brightening.
The home screen is that first screen I showed you, which we'll go back there later on and you'll see what that home screen is. And then this symbol here, it's called the recents, and it'll allow you to view recent open apps that you've had. It'll also allow you to split the screen so that you have 2 screens on one board. All these dots here are to open up the apps, so you can get into the apps by clicking there. That's your input, which is the same that we have here, the source. It allows you to go to different items or devices that are plugged into the system. These are smart tools. They give you other capabilities of doing other things. And this is smart accounts. If you log into your smart accounts, your picture will actually show right here. When you're in Whiteboard, there's a floating toolbar, and it's going to look different depending upon the version that we're on. I think our boards are version 3, 4, and 5, and we might have 2. Do we still have 2 or no?
We have 2.
We don't have 2, so 3, 4, and 5 is the newest one. We have very few of the 5, right? I know we have one where Kathy is, but
We have,
I'm not sure how many more we might have.
we have at least 45s.
4 or
Because
5?
we've done 2 upgrades of 5s.
Okay, great. Okay, so floating bar, the first one is the actual toolbar. So this is set so that if you move this from right to left, this line that's horizontal right now would go vertical. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 going down this way. But if you go up and down, you can move that floating toolbar, but it stays horizontally. So up and down keeps it the same way. Right and left will make it go this way. And then number 2 is open files again, so you can open up your documents or a new whiteboard as well. So number 3 is the pen control, and that's the symbol for the pen control. Tap on that. You can change the look of your writing to whatever you want. So that's your standard pen. That's what it's going to look like. Highlighter, if you want to highlight a certain word. This is ink to text. I'll explain that after I finish this. This is a paintbrush, crayon, calligraphy, disappearing ink. So if you click on that and you write something, a few seconds later, that text is going to disappear. Now when we go to the ink to text, when you type something, and this is different on different boards and I don't know why, but when you type something and you click on that, it will turn your handwritten lettering to actual text. And if you put the little caret and you put a B, it will add that B in for you. If you put a line in between 2 letters, it creates a space for you. If you put a diagonal line on the letter, it will delete it. Marquee tool, which is number 4 up here. Basically, if you have several different images, you click on this box, the box will go around the whole image, then you're able to move that whole image across your board to wherever you want it to be. So that's what Marquee does. Insert media, when you click on your insert media, you're able to insert images or a video, and it'll give you that option as soon as you click on that one. Number 6 is the same thing I showed you earlier, that go back key, which Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and it depends on where you're at within all the programs that's in here, right? Apps. The group setting, same deal. It only works under certain conditions, so it makes it kind of confusing because you don't really know when it will work or when it doesn't. If you click on it, it worked, then you're good, right? If it doesn't click, if it doesn't work, you know it's because you're not in a room that allows that to happen. And you guys will get this PowerPoint so that you'll have it.
You have to have an account to use this.
No, you don't. I'm not signed in at all. Okay, more tools. You're able to share and export your files. There's measuring tools. You can add backgrounds. You can do a whole bunch of different things with that. And I provided you with the link at the end of this PowerPoint that will give you more information about that particular item. Undo, redo, same as when you're working in Word, right? You did something, you don't want it, you undo it. Or, no, I do want it, you redo it back in there for you, whatever you deleted. So same thing here. Participation panel. When you tap the icon, it opens up the participation panel. The panel shows who of your students is connected. You can invite your students to connect, and then they'll see what they need to type into their device to connect to you, and then what they have on their device, you're going to actually see on the board. But as the instructor, you still have to invite them and give them the privilege to be on the board. But that's their way of being able to share with the rest of the class what they have. Page 2 allows you to navigate to different pages. You can view, delete, or change the size of the existing page that you're on. When you click on that symbol right here, number 11. Number 12, you're going to adding a blank page, or it could be a predetermined page, and it'll show you the options of what you can add in. So you'll see that in a bit. Then here are the different links that I provided that will go further into details with the things that I was talking about today. And that's it for that. So I can get out of this.
What's the best way to practice this to get?
I think the best way is to go into the rooms. And I would say if you have the time, I would go to different rooms that have different boards. Because for whatever reason, certain things worked for me today on one board. I was in room 221 in the R building. And then when I went to 217, what I was able to do in 221, I wasn't fully able to do in 217. So I would say that way you'll know the difference. But if you know what room you're going to be teaching your class, go to that room before the semester, right? Because you know what class you're going to be teaching in before the semester. I would go and experiment with it. All right, let's get out of that.
And part of why you were having differences is 217 is a Model 3 versus 221 is Model 4.
Okay. So, okay, so that's right. So I want to go back over here. Home key. That's the home key. So here is the favorites, and then here is the recent files or apps that have been opened. How do you make something your favorite? You put a little star, you click on the star, and it'll move it into the favorites. But when other teachers are teaching, they're moving it out, so if you didn't want it there, if this was start over here, you don't want it, then you would click on the star, it'll take it back over here on this side.
Okay, so this is what you see when you turn on your.
When you turn on your
Turn on.
computer, this is what you'll see.
Computer in the room. So then to go to the, so right there, you can access stuff, files, if you put your little drive in, right?
Yes.
But you're not really in Whiteboard then, is that correct?
Not at that point, you're not. So to get into Whiteboard, you would click here where it says Whiteboard.
Okay.
So now you're in Whiteboard.
Yeah.
It allows you to change your background to whatever you want it to be. So there's quite an assortment of backgrounds that you can use.
How about like no background, just,
Right, if you just want it plain, you just go back to the original
okay.
board there. And then here, I showed you that bar that sometimes it will move horizontal and vertically. Again, on this it's not, don't know why, even though that's what I found in the information I was searching. But here's where you can add things onto your board. You go into the web, you can search something, give me something to search. So I'll say moon, so hopefully it'll pop up pictures of the moon. So here are pictures of the moon, then all you gotta do is tap, and it's gonna go over there for you. Now, here's where I was saying you can grab and you can make it smaller. Point, move it out of your way. Right? And if you want it bigger again, you're gonna put your 2 fingers and you stretch it out. Get it in the right spot. There we go. Right? So let's say I don't want this here, or I want to do something different with it. If I click in the bottom arrow here, it gives me options of what I can do. I can duplicate that image, delete it, right? Keep cloning it, lock it out, bring it up front. So there's other things you can do with it. There we go. So we can find any image, throw it onto the board. You can also do a video.
So could you, so once you go to video, you could, for instance, go to YouTube to find a video that you wanted to use in your class?
Yep. So you can get any video, click it, it goes over there, you can hit play.
Earlier this month.
And it's on moon because I already searched moon, so it knows that I was already looking for moon.
The
That's why I
result
gave
of
you
a small
videos about
space
the moon.
object striking the lunar surface
Yes,
and
now try to
extrudes.
hit that pause button,
What
which
makes
is the
this
freeze
event
button.
notable is
I
that
can
it was captured.
So it'll stay like that and pause until I hit that button again. Okay, so maybe I stop because I want to explain something to the students, then I finish explaining, then I go ahead and I hit that pause
Video,
button
we
again.
will break down what was
Continue.
observed, why it
with the
matters
video.
scientifically,
When you want to get out
and
of
what it
it,
tells
if
us
you hit
about
the home
ongoing activity
key,
around the moon. Let's go.
it'll get you right out of it. Right, that's the quickest way to get out of anything, is just go back and hit the home key and then you can go ahead.
So I want to go to YouTube and find a little simple English language dialogue
Mhm.
for ESL students. I'm sorry about all these questions.
So right here you have your browser. No, and that's fine, that's great. Here's your browser.
Okay.
I'm gonna put in your browser. And then you can go ahead and type it into YouTube.
So would I have to, I put
I'm a
in
little
YouTube?
Yeah,
You
you
would
wanna,
have to type in YouTube.
you have to type in
on this
YouTube, and
browser.
I can't get up there.
I what?
You do have to type in YouTube on this one. So version 5, we have a link for searching YouTube videos, but that's on the version 5 boards.
So I put in YouTube, okay.
And then once you go into your
Put
search.
Spanish or English dialogue or something. Simple
Right,
English
just
dialogue,
type
right?
whatever you
Is that
want.
what you would do?
Yeah, you type in whatever you want and it'll call up.
So I could have it stored already, so we're just ready to fire up, put it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how do you get on this, the browser, so I'm gonna go home, right? And then right here is the apps. Right here, browser's really there too.
Okay.
So you just click on browser and that's going into the internet. Now this browser is the browser that's built into this board. Has nothing to do with the computer that's over there,
Oh,
right? Because these boards have its own computer.
but you can go, so you can go any place you.
Yeah, so you can use that or you can use that.
Can you go in before the class and pick the one you think you want to use?
Yeah, you can go and store.
And as you can see, you have the recent, so it's showing the recent videos
Yes,
that
right.
were used.
Okay.
It only has 6 spots of recent things, so if that makes a difference. Also, one caveat, the whiteboard, this board does not show up on Blackboard. So if you're doing a collaborate with students outside of the room, you can't share this with those people.
Well, mine is completely face-to-face class.
Then it should work fine for you.
So you can go back into the whiteboard.
What did you just do?
I just clicked the whiteboard
Okay.
button, so it got me back over here. This button here is, allows you to share. That's when the students can see and work. They can see what you're doing. This is where they'll have to go to hellosmart.com. That's the number, that's a unique number for this board. And so they can see what's going on in this board in their device, right? Now, not all teachers allow that to happen, but if you're a teacher who will allow them to have their device open, that's all they have to do. Then it'll let them know you're waiting for the teacher to start the session. The teacher needs to start the session, and then they'll be able to see what's on this board. They'll be able to see it on their device.
Okay, so I go on the whiteboard, and then can I pull up files that I have plugged into the computer in the room?
Yes.
With dialogues and things like that?
Yes, because you could use that computer and you can use the internal computer. So anything you have on this computer, you could show. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Always the easiest way to get out is to sit your down. So,
Okay,
That's the
excuse me
internal-
1 second. For some reason, Monica cannot see what you're pointing at and what you're looking at. So something disconnected. Monica, I'm sorry, I had to run back downstairs, but I'm back up here to see what's going on with the
And
screen.
we're on the board itself. We do not share and collaborate what is on the whiteboard when we're in the home of the whiteboard. She can only see what is on the computer. And like I was saying earlier, because we're in the actual TV's operating system, it's something that doesn't share on Blackboard Collaborate.
Can I turn the camera on and face it to the screen? That means you're going to be,
yeah, that's, and again, we're willing to meet with her
Yeah.
and go over this. The PowerPoint is made. There's of course things that I'm showing now that I explained in the PowerPoint.
Can I have another question, please?
Sure.
So I plug it in the computer. It goes up, shows the water tower. You can go to those files. I'm not in Whiteboard,
No, you're not.
but it'll show those. Is there any, what's the advantage of using Whiteboard over just pulling those up and they're on the screen?
So Whiteboard is allowing you to do the writing on the board.
Well, that's what it allows.
Let's look if you're here with the marker,
so there's something wrong.
right? That's what Whiteboard is. It's this,
Yeah,
right? So it's like, as a teacher, you're writing notes on the board,
I can.
you do it through here. So instead of doing it through here with a marker, you're doing it here electronically. That's what Whiteboard is, right? However, it gives you those options to add in.
This allows me to do much.
Right, a whole lot more, right? Because it's allowing you to add in graphics, right? Those pictures that we threw on here of the moon, right? It allows you to search those pictures,
Okay.
right? And it allows you to put videos.
I got a
On the board. Yeah. Well, and you're welcome, after we're done with this, you're welcome to come up and give your shot. Okay, so again, browser, when you're in the browser, you are in the internal computer that's in here, right?
Great.
That's when you're in that browser. Now, when you have your files and you put it in this computer,
Yeah.
right, like that PowerPoint is in this computer, it's not here, right? That, I put onto my computer, which is HDMI2,
I changed it.
right? And now the board is showing what I have on the computer.
Oh,
So any file you have on your computer, you can go ahead and open it and then, oops,
She's seeing what I'm seeing on the laptop, that's what I care about.
right, so, you click on that and you're gonna see what it is that you have over there. So it's just giving you two different options.
oh, okay.
So the only difference is
I
that
want to see Maria, that's it, okay.
a lot of the options that you have using the browser here, you may not have those same options when you're using the computer.
Yeah, no.
Right. There is limitations.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, so you're sharing your screen all the time.
that what?
You're sharing your screen all the time.
It's there behind the scenes when you're, when you're not clicking on it, because if you're on the browser, or you're on the whiteboard, it's still there in the background, which is why every time you hit home, you can go back to anywhere that you want to go back to. Right. Is there anything else that you, questions for?
I will suggest if you are using files on a.
So on the bottom, look for your
Check the
PowerPoint.
files before.
I have.
Sometimes the boards, especially some of these older ones, have a
Oh,
hard
just
time
to
with.
see you.
Oh,
no, I wanted to.
So it may be easier to use the actual computer in the room than the board itself.
The files are on the phone.
Yeah, same thing. If sometimes that thumb drive, for whatever reason, certain files don't want to open correctly. And so you may be forced to use the actual computer versus the IFP or the flat panel.
Okay, thank you. With the browser, some of the files I have on there are scanned, they're in a scan folder, which then.
You can still, if you have a file, this is the bad thing, because you have to keep going back to the computer. I don't know if there's any files here. Let's see what that is. Okay, so that looks like a PDF, right, a scanned document. You can now write on this. So any file that you have that you open, if it's a PDF, Word document, PowerPoint, any kind of document that you have and you put on the computer, you open it up here. As soon as you put your marker here, you're able to write on that document. That's annotation is what they call that.
And are you able to save that in any way?
Yes, you can, but I don't recall how that is done. I'm sorry, but I could get back to you on that. Because you can capture the screen. I don't remember. I'll get back to you on all of you on how to save it, but you are able to save it. Any other questions? Because if not, then you guys can come up to the board and try it for yourself. That what?
I wish I could help. Oh, no, I did bring my little thing, but I don't intend to be the person who steals the opportunity to do it from everybody else.
Well, everyone, I mean, you're all welcome. We have time. Let me go ahead and put that back over here. Okay, so that's the whiteboard. Give it into the whiteboard. I think it'll keep making, more and more of that same image.
That's typically what I do.
That's what it sounds like it should do.
Yeah.
But, duplicate,
Oh,
there you
I
go,
see.
there you go.
Okay.
I knew it was,
There
we
we
can
go.
make multiple.
Okay.
Yeah, and
And
then
then I
to
can-
delete, then you would just delete. And you'd have to go and delete each one separately. And then, one of the things that we had talked about, before you delete, don't delete
Okay.
anyone, was this button here, which was the marquee. So I can go, I'm gonna purposely lower this because I'm too short. Okay, so I hit the marquee, I'm telling it I wanted to grab everything on there and move it all at once.
Gotcha.
So that's what the marquee does. It allows me to grab it all. Otherwise, I have to do it individually. I just get it upside down, but that's what that does. It lets you grab,
Oh.
hit it again. There you go. And now you can move it all at once.
But I can't.
Do one finger.
Huh.
It's one finger.
One finger for the move.
Well, I want to move, I wanted to turn it around. So I can't, it doesn't cause them to come together just for.
So you gotta get that, once you get that
Right, so what I,
symbol.
but that's not what I was trying to do.
Okay, so go, oops. Okay, so you want them both upside down.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, now, go ahead and smack it again, and you should be able to make it,
Okay, so now they're together.
yes. and then
I
you
think
should
it
be
was
able to-
grabbing it by a corner, seemed to rotate.
Okay.
So they're rotating, it's, so
There.
there you go.
So you can't, they don't become a unit that you can.
No, they say
organize
separate,
themselves.
because you might want to have them separate again at a later point.
But I assume that if you marquee, then you just marquee, okay, if you don't mind me trying this again. So I can move them together,
Yes.
but if I turn them, they turn separately. So there's no way to unitize them. And they unmarquee.
Yeah, I don't think they combine.
Okay.
It just allow you to manipulate them together, but.
Well, I
they-
mean, you can
they
move them
don't-
up and down together, but you can't rotate them together. Because the marquee is causing them to become a unit. But then you can move the unit
Mhm.
sideways,
Yeah.
but you can't rotate them. That's odd.
And we can look at this one here. That allows you, in one of the images I had, I actually put the clock up there, which I kind of like, although you're gonna be going through a whole bunch of pages. Because then the students are aware of what time it is, if that clock was wrong.
Mm.
So I think that's a cool, feature. So now, when you have an actual image and you do this, it's not gonna erase,
Mhm.
right? What you write will erase. Should write.
Should pick a color, right?
Yeah, try picking a
Well, it
color.
has black as the color.
And it may, some of these don't like finger as a pen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
First,
You have to tell it you want the finger,
And
which
you
is
can-
this button right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you put that over, now I can use my finger, but I have to tell it, and I didn't tell it. So I can erase anything I write, but any image I cannot erase. I have to click on the image.
And you have to remove the finger
Yeah.
writing to then click.
So now I can delete it. Could be multiple images because we make
Well, no,
copies.
because you deleted one of
So
these little
now-
dots that you put on
Yeah,
there.
so now I can go ahead and delete my mess. Click on that. Back to clean board again.
You can also set each pen to a different color, or one pen as a highlighter, the other as a writing instrument.
Try some. So you're gonna be looking on the internet and you want to search for something, so you type in what you want. So click in
I
here.
didn't want to do that.
Oh, you didn't?
I wanted to find a graph. I wanted to get a graph. An XY,
Oh, okay.
graph lines.
You can, put that, X, Y, right?
Yeah.
X, Y.
A coordinate plane is what I'm trying to say.
Well, it might realize what you want, no? Okay, so
Because-
it needs something different than that.
Are you trying to do it as a background or a?
No, but I'd like to transform the board into a coordinate grid so that we can, work on equations, we can graph
Okay,
lines.
so that might be something you can do in, Smart Notebook.
Okay,
Before we go-
I've done it in Smart Notebook.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I
so
just
do
wanted
it,
to know.
okay, yeah,
All right,
so-
so then let me just play with this. And so now I want,
On the web, so then what you want to do is, click right in here
okay,
and type out what it is that you're looking for.
all right, and so I
And
can
this is
do,
letting it know you're looking for an image. If you wanted a video, you would click on video.
okay, all right,
So if it's an image you're looking for, click on
okay, well, I like a video.
image. Okay, so click
And I'd like
on
it to be, math. Can I go YouTube on here, or do I have to go?
It'll search YouTube.
Okay, I don't have to put in YouTube.
It shouldn't have to, it's gonna search for any video it can
Oh,
find.
it goes
Okay,
like,
all right, so, type.
Touch
Click in
the
it and then you
app,
can
and
type.
then you can type.
You've been silent. Any questions for you?
No, it's just so cool. I wish we had this in each building. We have the.
You have two of them in each building currently.
Which rooms are they in?
Two, I
Where's
wanna
the
say
space?
249,
Where's the
two,
space?
Upstairs though?
they're upstairs
Okay.
Oh,
on the, west side of the building.
Okay, I need to get my classrooms in there. Because I use the smart board a lot for like the older ones that we have with the Apple TV.
Yeah.
So I just use my computer, what do you call it, AirPlay to it, and then I can like draw and do my PowerPoints or whatever. This is nice, it's all in one thing.
Which these, you can still AirPlay your
Oh, you
map
can.
to it,
Yeah.
but you have to go to that
Okay,
screen
so
share.
once you type in,
app
you wanna
order
hit-
to get a
that's
connection
enter.
with AirPlay.
Oh, this is.
And search. That's a magnifying glass, so save search.
Are we getting more of these?
We are trying to get more, but it's probably gonna be during the, spring or summer break that we actually get them.
To activate this?
Yeah, you click on it and it'll go over there.
And whatever they say, add a year to
And
it.
then you hit.
Add a
year.
And then
Maybe two.
how do I literally?
Here, if you click over here, that'll push it back out of the way, and then you hit.
I think it's an image.
Oh, it's just.
Oh, was it an image? Wasn't she on video? Yeah, she was on video.
There it goes.
There it goes, okay.
Is comparing decimal numbers harder than
Okay.
comparing multi-digit
All right,
real
so
numbers?
then to stop
No,
this,
in fact, it's basically the same
And
process.
hit the home key.
You line up the number
Whenever
fixes, and then
you
start.
want to get out of it, hit the home key, and then you just go right back into your whiteboard.
okay.
Now, you can have multiple pages on your whiteboard. So let me make sure I'm writing. So we'll say that's page 1. If I hit my plus sign,
Okay, that gives you your next page.
that'll give me my next.
Hit the plus sign, you can find.
Oh, here's where you have
there.
some grids. So you might actually find it here.
Try, one of the other.
Here's a little bit of math.
I know I
but not to
can, I
the
know I
level
can get
you're
it
looking
from the
for.
Smart Notebook. So as long as I can get it somewhere, I'm happy. What the-
And who knows if more could get added in there?
Multiplication? Yeah, good time with this.
Mhm.
All right, and then home, because I like to get rid of it. All right.
And there at the bottom, you may also see some.
different, those are different backgrounds.
Right,
You have a more grid one
yeah.
there, or just line, things.
If you can, put a notation, like, if we can add, other ones here.
Okay.
So it's a reminder to me, so we can figure out if we can get that in there. Yeah, so then, once you have multiple pages, we start doing, just want it to be white, so I'll go ahead and, okay, that'll be 2. We know it's 2. That'll be 3. So now I'm able to, here's 2, here's 1, 2, 3. So I have to just go up and down to get to those different pages, because each page will have something different whenever it is that you want. Yeah, that's so many different things. It's frustrating when you go to one board and you're able to do something, and then you go to another board because it's a different version, right? And so what happens is, when we buy boards, we can only buy X amount of boards because that's what we can afford in our budget, right? The next year comes, and we could buy boards again, only X amount, because that's what's in our budget, right? So from one year to the next year, the version changes. So that's how you end up with having all these different versions on campus, and you don't know as an instructor, I don't know as a person either, especially since I don't teach, I'm not in classrooms. I was looking in a database, and when I looked in the classrooms in our database, that's when I found out, wow, we have version 3, we have version 4, and we have version 5. And I'm like putting this information together for the PowerPoint, and I'm like, now I don't even know if the information I'm gathering is more associated with 3, 4, or 5. I was looking for 5, but it was just like, okay, how do I know it's gonna work over here when I'm in this room, because this version is not 5?
So if I have a thumb drive and I plug it in, I can pull up a given document?
You should be able to by coming on here, but if it doesn't work, then go to your computer,
yeah.
put it in your computer, because again, when you go to your home screen, you're gonna find that computer,
Oh, yes.
right? And you'll have it open to what you want, you'll see that here,
Yeah, okay.
right? So where's my computer? It's
Favorites.
HDMI.
It's under favorites. HDMI.
HDMI 2. So
Yeah,
that's my
and that's what I
computer,
do. Yes,
right? So you just go into your computer and you open up that file.
And or hit the input button at the top, and there's also an input button on the actual touch buttons at the corner.
Okay. so
And
this
then you'll
is-
look for the one, usually with the star, and it'll start showing the actual computer.
Okay, okay. And it's always HDMI?
No, sometimes it's HDMI 1, sometimes it's HDMI 2.
It
It depends on the actual room. Sometimes we've had some bad HDMI 1s,
Okay.
so it's on HDMI 2. Occasionally, it's being forced into HDMI 3, but usually it's 1 or 2.
Does it search
But
like
you'll
our
see it.
absence?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't really
You'll see
search.
something
You have to
here.
hit an input
Now,
and look for
If we
the
had
actual
something connected to HDMI 1, like let's say your laptop, right? Then we would see her laptop here, and we'll see that computer there. And based off of which one we want to use, that would be the one we click into. So yeah, just look for the one that has the image that you know you want to be displayed, and that's what we're gonna click on. This is great.
Just go and try to practice. Do you know what they have in the M building?
M Building has a lot of version 5s, version 4s, and maybe 1 or 2 3s. There's a couple rooms that are absent projectors with no activity.
Okay, that's probably what I got.
Yeah, most of them are gonna be, the flat panels. But I think a lot of them are versions 4s and 5s.
Well, that's good.
So now you've seen a little of this introduction. Let me know if there's any questions or, filter through Laura, because I want to improve on this so that it makes it easier for the next people who come the next time we do this. So if you have like any questions even after the fact, send us the questions because then I'll do the little research that's needed to
And
get
who are
answers.
you and where do we reach you?
Office in our building.
And you juggle things simultaneously?
Oh, yes. Among other things that I have to do for the
Would
college.
you ever be convinced to come over to the M building?
To the M building?
Yeah.
At the M building,
Well,
you'll find me.
sometimes to this area. Well, that's where all the texts, yeah. That's where all
I'll
our
give his
texts are
contact
at.
The M building.
information.
Kim, you and I are going to become great friends.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I will suggest, if at all possible, going a little bit early to your
No, I'm
class.
gonna practice.
If you have any problems, give the help desk a call. And since we are in the M building, we can usually make it into the room within like 5 minutes, usually under.
Right, you can use the house phone. The house phone is the police and
I learned that.
IT.
And yeah, the
So
help
you
desk.
just say, I'm in room such and such, can you help? I'm stuck. And then somebody will come.
Great, great, thank you. I thought you did very nicely.
Yeah, you did a great job.
That's all I learned this month. Because I never used this.